Hello, everybody. I'm Vicky Maponga, and I'm here at the National Blood Service Zimbabwe, and I'm with the Chief Executive Officer of NBSZ, Miss Lucy Maroa. She's not only the Chief Executive Officer, but she's also a medical laboratory scientist by profession. Now, last week, the organization did mention on its social media platforms that they are going to be having shows in order to educate the public on blood donation. Miss Maroa, what made you decide to have these shows on your social media platforms?
Thank you, Vicky, and thank you for hosting me on this show. We decided that we want to host these shows to educate the nation on blood donation because there are so many myths out there about this whole concept of blood donation, so many misinformation that has been going around, and a lot of people don't seem to really know what we do as an organization. Therefore, I felt it is necessary to give information to the public, to bring awareness, as well as to dispel rumors and also give platform for interaction with the public so that there is actually a platform for engagement. So this is the first of many episodes that we will have to try and interact with the public and open up dialogue. And once we start this, it's going to be a series of many such platforms so that we can dispel these rumors and bring understanding on what the National Blood Program is all about.
Interesting indeed. And she did mention if you had, the issue of myths and misconceptions that are there regarding blood donation. And today, our first episode, we're actually going to be demystifying some of those misconceptions regarding blood donation. And one thing to start off the show that I have heard so many people say, and I'm sure you've also heard this: giving blood will leave you feeling sick and weak. So people are scared. Is that true?
Well, it's not true. In fact, when we go out there and look for blood donors, we are looking for healthy individuals that are at least 16 years old and at most 65 years old, unless qualified by your doctor to continue to donate blood up to the age of 70 years old. And you should be at least 50 kgs of body weight. And you should be in general good health. We do health assessments, a mini health assessment, to say that as a blood donor, you are in general good health. And if you do not lie to us and you comply with this criteria, nothing should make you feel weak after you have given blood. Yes, there are some people that may suffer some minor setbacks, such as just, fear of needles that may cause them to feel a general weakness, but it's really something transient, nothing to write home about. Yes, it can have those minor side effects, but those are very rare and far in between. That does not happen to the majority of blood donors. Generally, you should be able to continue with your normal day-to-day duties after you've given blood. You should be able to go back to work. We then say don't do heavy duty work, especially with the arm that has been used to give blood, and just generally live a healthy lifestyle. So if you disclose correctly that you're in general good health, you should not feel any setbacks, because blood donation is meant to be a very comfortable process, generally speaking.
So which means that you're trying to say, if it's lead me actually to my next question, to say, if you constantly give blood, is it good for your health? Because there are some people who think, if I constantly give blood, one, it's not good for my health, and two, I'm going to remain with less blood.
The body is like a machine, if I may say so. When you give blood, the body starts to generate again more blood for you. And if you live a healthy lifestyle, you eat well, and you are in general good health, the important thing is be in general good health. Eat well, live a normal lifestyle. Your body should be able to regenerate itself and go back to its normal capacity. When we take blood from a healthy individual, we are taking about 450 milliliters of blood, at most 500 milliliters of blood. That's about 10% of the blood that is circulating in a normal individual of 50 kg body weight. And if you're above 50 kg body weight, you have more than the 5 liters of blood that we are talking about. So that means that within 48 hours, your body has restored the volume. And then within a few days, your blood cells have actually been able to reconstitute themselves. So you should be generally in good health and be able to go back and give blood 3 months later if you are a man, 4 months later if you are a female. If you have an iron rich diet, and you're eating well, your body is a machine that is able to regenerate itself. But if I'll put a disclaimer, if the general good health is absent and you are not eating well, especially iron rich foods, yes, it might lead you to some kind of anemia where we are saying your blood might lessen a little bit. But that's again the disclaimer: you are not eating well, you are not eating iron rich foods, and you are not in general good health.
Okay, you keep talking about eating and the dietary requirements that needed for a donor. Maybe you can educate or give information to somebody listening right now. Are there any dietary requirements before and after donating blood?
The general diet, as we are taught in school, foods rich in iron, such as your spinach, such as your liver, and other foods that are rich in iron, should not be absent in your diet. And these ones are readily available in our everyday lives. We encourage our blood donors to actually make sure that they consider these in their diets. And where we feel that a donor is saying that they do not have access to these, we're even able to give also supplementation in the form of iron tablets as well. These are available for the donors that believe that they may need this if they feel that they're not getting dietary iron at their homesteads. We are able to supply these as well.
Oh, all right. I'm sure if you're watching and you had been having these fears and misconceptions, I'm sure some of your questions are being answered right now. Now, Miss Maroa, people think and they have this misconception to say it's donating blood is one time consuming and it's very inconvenient.
It doesn't take much time, except when we are overwhelmed, when we have a large, massive blood drive going on. But if you walk into one of our centers, within 30 minutes, you should be done, because the process really entails coming in, making your registration if you are a new donor, and then going in for the mini health check. Then the donation process itself should take you between 5 and 10 minutes to fill up that pint of blood. And then afterwards, you sit there and you get your refreshment as we observe you to make sure that you are feeling well and you are good enough to go back to your home. But if you come in when there's a massive blood drive going on, yes, it might take a bit of time, but then again, you know that if there's a massive blood drive going on, it's an act of commitment. But generally speaking, 30 minutes, one should come in, be able to be served, and go back to work. So I encourage people to visit our static clinics where they can. And if there's a massive blood drive going on, please do support us still and bear with us. We will be working as fast as we can. But you should not spend more than an hour even at a massive blood drive. We always make sure that our staff serve you as fast as they can so that we release you to get on with your normal everyday business.
You heard it. You can visit the static clinics for the National Blood Service Zimbabwe, and these static clinics, you're going to get the details on the caption, which is on this video. We have clinics in Harare, Mazowe Street, Joina City, Machingo, Motare, Gweru, and Bulawayo. So if you would like to donate blood, you've heard it. It's not inconveniencing at all, and it is not painful. So you're able to go and donate blood at any one of our clinics there. Now, how often can one donate blood? It's something that people are not sure of. I know you did mention earlier on, but there are some people who think every month. Do you have to donate blood? How often and why that time period is it given for one to donate blood?
Generally speaking, women donate blood every 3 months, every 4 months, and men donate blood every 3 months. However, scientifically speaking, we know that these periods can be shortened. For example, when we have a crisis, we do ask the males, for example, to donate every 8 weeks, because their bodies are able to generate that much, and the ladies can donate every 10 weeks. Again, the caveat is general good health, good diet. We know that the blood cells would have been replenished every 56 days, your body should have generated enough cells to replenish whatever we have taken out. But just to keep ourselves safe, we normally want the females to come in every 4 months and the men to come in every 3 months. So this is the general rule of thumb. Only when we have emergencies do we say 8 weeks for the men and 10 weeks for the females.
All right. I heard, in fact, I read somewhere where somebody was saying there's a risk of excessive bleeding when you donate blood, or after rather donating blood. That one made you laugh?
Yes, indeed. Because when we donate blood, we are just inserting a needle into the vein, a normal needle like the one that you get when you're getting a drip in the hospital. It makes a puncture hole the same way you get a drip, or when you are getting a blood sample taken by the nurses. It may not cause excessive bleeding at all, except when you have a condition that you have not disclosed that causes you or that predisposes you to excessive bleeding. But otherwise, when the needle is removed, the same way that you would give a sample of blood to a nurse who wants to run a test, we do not expect that small puncture wound to cause excessive bleeding at all. So normally that is not expected at all. It's just a needle that's going into a vein, and its removal should be event free. So that is not true at all.
Okay. As we are about to come to the end of this show today, because I think because there is a lot of information, when it comes to blood donation, a certain group type is the one that is spoken about, most frequently. I think you will agree that's group O.
Yes, yes,
And it
yes.
has made many people believe that it's only a certain type of group blood which can come and donate blood. Can you explain that? Do I just have to be an O type? How do I know I'm an O type? You know,
It
uh,
is an interesting question and it keeps coming up, and I always like to explain that one. You see, what happens is that when we are born, everybody has a specific blood group, and this one is inherited from your parents. You can be blood group A, blood group B, blood group O, or blood group AB, which is a combination of group A and blood group B together. So you would have the two groups together. But what is very unique and interesting about blood group O is that the blood from a blood group O patient is what is termed as a universal blood group, because it can be transfused across all these four blood groups. But the unique feature also of the blood group O patient is that they can only receive blood from another blood group O. They can give to everybody, but can only receive from a similar blood type. So blood group O patients give to blood group to everybody, but can only receive from blood group O. Then let me come to the population. When we look at the population of Zimbabwe, the majority of Zimbabweans, at least 52% of everybody living in Zimbabwe, is blood type O. So what it means is that when we go and collect blood from the population, I can bet you that 52% of our collection will be blood group O. So what makes it so popular is that when we then move into the whole health institutions that need blood, most of the patients are also going to be blood group O. And because of that, the blood group O depletes very quickly. And in emergencies, blood group O goes out fast, because even without asking Vicky what your blood type is, I know I can safely transfuse you with a blood group O unit. So in emergencies, we are using blood group O. So it moves out very fast. So that's why it is in constant shortage, because there is so much demand for it, despite it being the blood group that is most prevalent in the population. It moves out very quickly. So we constantly have a shortage of blood group O. So that is the most important thing to note. We may have a lot of blood group units sitting in our blood bank, but if they are not blood group O, the majority of patients sitting in our hospitals will be blood group O. So we'll then say we have no blood, but really it means we've run out of blood group O. It is always in constant supply. I always say it is an easy come, easy go blood group. It is always in constant supply. This means that we call upon our blood group O donors to constantly come and donate blood. It does not mean we do not need the other blood groups, but that all those that are in blood group O, we really need you each and every time. That's really what is about blood group O.
Now you did mention something which I believe there are some people that are watching now, that can would want to know this, to say, okay, I've never donated blood, but I'm interested. Are you able to test me what group type, blood type I am, where you can categorize me in order to give blood? Can people come to National Blood Service Zimbabwe to know their blood type?
Actually, we do that, but we normally do that when we go to the mobile blood donation sites. We do have rapid test cards that we will do where we can pre-screen our donors and then be able to say this is an A, B, A, or O patient or blood donor. And there are times when we actually go for targeted blood collections where we are mostly recruiting blood type O donors, but it doesn't mean we turn away the A's and the B's. There are times when we have to target the O's specifically when our blood bank is overwhelmed with the other blood types, and we have to do a targeted collections of the O because that's what will be lacking in our blood banks. So yes, we are actually able to do the pre-screening, and we do that mainly at the outreaches. It's important for us to do that when the blood bank is not looking healthy and balanced.
Well, I'm sure you heard it from the Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Lucy Maroa, some of the misconceptions that so many people have regarding donating blood. Remember, she did say it's not inconveniencing at all, it's not painful, and definitely you are not going to get sick after donating blood. So today we're going to leave the show here, but before we go, Ms. Maroa, I would love you to just address the significance of donating blood and how it saves lives in your last words to the public.
Donating blood is an act of kindness. It's an act of selfless giving. Of course, you're giving blood to somebody you may never meet in your entire life. You do not get rewarded materially from us as the National Blood Service, except the thank you and the small tokens that we give you, because we subscribe to the principles of voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation. But all I can tell you is that when you find yourself on the other side needing a unit of blood and it is not there, then you learn to appreciate it. Only when you lose a relative because blood could not be availed on time does it become clear that blood does save lives. So we do thank all our esteemed blood donors who have stood by us, who will continue to stand by us. And therefore, I call upon anyone who has been doubtful about donating blood, do make your decision today and do come forward and save a life. You never know whose life you may save. One day it could be yours or your loved one. We are here to serve you through our work at National Blood Service Zimbabwe.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maroa, and thank you for having joined us and for watching. Remember to share the page as well with your loved ones, your friends, and relatives. Next time when you meet us, we're going to be taking you through the whole blood donation process. So don't miss out on any one of these shows. And if you've got a question, if you've got something that needs to be addressed, do inbox us. And there's also a number that is showing there on the caption of this video. Remember, life is in the blood, so donate blood and save a life.